Awesome. Well, let's get started. Welcome to the Power Half Hour. July the 12th, this week we have none other than Dan Plowman from Oshawa, Ontario. The man has been in the industry for now 30 plus years and they still sell a home a day. I don't know how you find the time to be here, but thank you for being here, Dan.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, Dan, why don't we just start? I don't know if my audience actually knows who you are. You're obviously a, mega agent, mega team and brokerage in your area. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got started in real estate.
Okay, yeah, I started from actually originally I would go way back. I was in the HVAC business. I'm a refrigeration mechanic, a furnace installer, gas fitter by trade, and I did that for oh my 10 strong years from the youthful age of 15 in the summers right through till I was 25. I built a business. I incorporated it at 18. By the time I was 25, I had 21 people working for Advanced Air Systems, sold it to my brother. He's still actively running that to this day since November of 89. But
Wow.
I got my real estate license because I realized working in the HVAC industry, although I enjoyed it, I really loved the sales at night. I really loved the people interaction and the connection. So, and I was good at it. So I thought, well, hey, this real estate thing looks pretty cool. I mean, every realtor I saw or ran into or heard of, whether it was at church or from somebody's friend, they all had the nicest jewelry, the most beautiful cars, and they seemed to have lots of money. And little did I know I was walking into a time bomb because November of '89 when I started by 1990 interest rates literally rose to like 16%, and the board that I started on. The board membership for realtors actually cut in half within 24 months. So people were dropping
Woo!
eyes. And here I am with three young kids at 25 years old, sold my HVAC company and got into all in real estate, and now I'm panicked. But I'll tell you, it's certainly a great way to go, both feet in, with no choice but to succeed. And
Mm.
I pounded the pavement. I did my 80-hour work weeks. I pushed hard. And
Mm.
those 5 to 7, 8 years, I really wish I'd had, some tools from someone who'd done these things that could have accelerated my ability to achieve more quickly and easily without the pain and the costly mistakes that I made, which, by the way, went on for about 10 years. So I'm grateful that I did push through because there were even times where I considered leaving the business. I'm grateful I didn't because just around the corner, there were new things. And when I started to work as hard as I did and did push through those moments, I was able to find traction. I was able to start to realize that, hey, if I do this and do it bigger than everybody else by 4 or 5 times, I can have 4 or 5 times the results. And then there were new things that spawned from that. I was also very fortunate early on, and by early on I mean about year 10 now, to run into some top producers and to actually have moved to their office. And we did some brainstorming sessions where these guys were veterans way ahead of me, top two realtors actually in Durham at the time. And we do Tuesday and Thursday mornings from 7 till 9:30. We did a skill development, role play. We did tracking. And I was learning these skills quite a few years ago. It was 20 plus years ago I was learning these skills. So yeah, that played into me developing the systems that I started to develop, realizing that, hey, you know what, there's more to this. So then I started, before you know it, I was doing 60, 63 deals a year on my own. But
Whoa.
now I was starting to drop balls. Now I was starting, the client care was starting to go down. So I either had to, it was a crossroad now, I either had to go backwards to get around 40 deals a year, which I find was perfect as an individual for, making a great living and servicing your clients properly. Or I had
Mm.
to leverage people, technology, and marketing and go the other way. And I chose to bring in some people and go the other way. And again, that I had new challenges, new problems, new issues, but I managed to keep great notes. And that's where the coaching and training company came from. We actually sell homes each and every day. I managed to sell a house each and every day, and I spend very little time doing that. As a matter of fact, I'm not even active anymore in people's homes. I've leveraged the team that I have, which are wonderful partners, to the point where I have this amazing lifestyle, great team, and I still very much participate and very much am connected with the team. But the coaching and training company is where my passion lies now, so that I can give people
Mm.
the things that we're doing turnkey so that they can accelerate their business and do more deals quickly. And that's where Dan Plowman coaching has come from.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, guys, this is 30 plus years of the grind, the struggle, going through ups and downs, going through many, many cycles, to get to this point. And Dan's willing to give all his secrets, tips, and tricks and strategies to help you move forward and rocket ship your business. But let's back up though. When you
Okay,
first started, you said 80-hour work weeks, right?
sure.
Nobody wants to do that these days, Dan. What do you say to that?
Well, I say go out and get a car payment, get a big mortgage, try to get a 16% interest rate, and have 3 kids, and you won't have a choice.
So we're nearing that. I mean, today the rates just went up by 0.25 and the
Right.
Bank of Canada rate at 5%. So you've seen this before. How did you get through that?
Well, I mean, sure, price of homes are obviously much higher now, and a
Yeah.
5% rate compared to 16 doesn't seem bad. But the flip side of the 16% interest rate, homes were $150,000 then. So
Mm,
I think even with you take everything into consideration, cost of living, including the price of homes as well as wages. I still think it's difficult and challenging for people to get into a home these days. I really do. I think it's maybe even more difficult in some ways. And then
mm,
add to that an inventory issue where we have more people than we do homes, roofs over our heads. There's another factor that didn't exist in 1990, 91, 92, 93.
mm.
So yeah, it's challenging. It's tough. How do we deal with it today is really the
Yeah.
great question. I think that's what you're asking. How do we do this? How do we
Yes.
well, I will say I have watched, yes, over the years, the ups and the downs and the changing markets. But if you draw a line from 1950 when we started to keep track of real estate sales across Canada to now, and if you zoomed in on any 5 years, you will see ups and downs. But if you
Yeah.
draw a straight line through it to 2023, it's always gone up. You would agree with me.
Mm.
So let's not forget, real estate is still one of the safest, best investments. Here's the great news. People in Canada, people in the United States, people in most places, I will speak for North America because I know this with great knowledge, still want to own a home. It's pride of ownership is a big deal to and for part of our North American culture. So knowing that that's true and that it's a safe investment long term, we need to
Mm.
we need to, as consultants for the consumer, help people get into these homes. So what does that
Mm.
mean? Well, I do believe that we have great safeguards with regards to qualifying rules. Unlike some of the things the states went through during the Fannie Mae days, where if you had a breath of air and a shoelace, you qualified for a mortgage. That's not the case here. So I'm grateful for that, right? I'm
Yeah.
grateful for so, if people can qualify to get into a home, I say whatever it takes, inspire them to get into a home. And if that means moving, 20 minutes further out to make it happen because rates went up 3% or 4% in the last while, who cares? The main thing is they get in the market because we know it's going to continue. And I think that that's critical. People don't lose sight of the fact that it's more important to be in this market than out of this market because I don't see a change in this housing shortage anytime soon.
Absolutely, I don't see it either. I mean, all over North America right now, it's a bit of a weird situation where the qualifications has gone up, so number of people who are able to buy have gone down, but also the inventory has gone way down. So we're still seeing multiple offers, yet the sales have gone down. In our area, I don't know if you've heard of well, in your area, but in BC, especially in Greater Vancouver, out of 15,000 agents, 5,000 agents haven't done a transaction in the past 30 months. And so when you say the interest rates go up to 16% and the number of realtors go down by half, I think that will truly happen. Now, you and I, we're out here for contribution. So what kind of wisdom can you give the audience who are just about giving up, to give them that energy and that inspiration to come back and say, hey, you know what, don't quit.
Well, I think that the best thing you can do is the best thing that you do.
Mm, I
Then
love
double
that.
it. Then double it. The best thing you can do is the best thing that you do. And I say that because
Mm,
some people are really good with generating and converting leads from online sources. Some people are great doing an open house every weekend, and they pull a deal a month from that, or a deal every 2 months from that, or whatever they need for to maintain their budget lifestyle. So whatever you do, well, double it, do more of it. When I talked about 80-hour work weeks, I remember very early on in the business, I would take people out to lunch who were selling homes. And by the way, I went through my first 3 months of not doing a deal, the whole 9 yards, the struggle, the pain, the worry.
Yep.
I had a bit of money put aside because I just sold a business, but not much. I think I had a 6-month nest, not enough. Really, and I was starting to panic, especially having 3 kids. But I remember interviewing people and asking them, what do you do to make money? What do you do to get clients? What do you do to sell homes? And they would tell me what they did. There was a common denominator, and it was this. Meet people, tell them you sell real estate, and tell them you work for wherever you work and why you're so amazing. I thought, okay, that's an interesting thing. So how do you meet people was the next question. Well, we do open houses. We do a lot of open houses. We run ads in the paper. There was no internet in '89, I knew of anyway. So I talked to realtors, and I realized the better realtors, the ones doing more deals, were actually doing an open house on a Saturday and a Sunday from 2 to 4. They were doing 2 every weekend. These were people giving up their weekends to go into people's homes and to meet clients. Clients would come to open houses then. Now, things are different now. There's other ways to meet people without question. But in my mind, this is what I did. I said, well, what if I did 1 to 3 and 3:30 to 4:30 on Saturday, and 1 to 3 and 3:30 to 4:30, or 3:30 to 5:30, pardon me, on Sundays.
Open.
So 4 instead of 2 on the weekends. And then what if I picked up an open house from somebody else in the office who had a busy street, like Simcoe Street, King Street. These are busy main arterial routes here in Oshawa. And what if I did them on a Thursday night as well? So I started doing 5 open houses a week. Guess what happened to my business in 4 short weeks? I was selling homes because I did what I knew would work, because I think I'm pretty good with people. I can talk to people. I think I'm pretty good at people. I think I'm a likable guy, and I'm not boasting. I'm just saying, know where your unique abilities lie, and then go at it twice as hard as what you have. Because yes, you're right when you say people are going to leave this business. Don't be one of them. Do not be one of them.
Yes. Are you listening? So do the best that you do,
And do
double
more.
it.
Double it.
It's very simple, right? If you enjoy open houses, do 5 of them a week. If you
Exactly.
enjoy door knocking, double up on that. If you enjoy cold calling, double up on that. If you enjoy networking, double up on that. I think
Right.
it's a more market as we go along, and it's also a very, pretty much a skilled market. I always say this, if you want to be a multimillionaire, you better become a skillionaire first. What do you think about, scripts and dialogues, Dan?
Well, I think that language is critical. We've
Yeah.
proven that. We've tracked it. I have a very strong inside sales lead conversion department, and we record everything, by the way. And my top people are, they're 40 dials an hour. Like, these guys are talking to people all the time, right? So I don't believe in more than 6 hours a day, by the way, with breaks in between is important when you're doing this, because that's a tough job. But I will tell you, when you do it as much as we do and you listen, you learn what converts and what does not.
Mm.
I'll tell you this. I've had people say to me, I don't like a script. I sound too scripted. Well, everybody has a script. Everybody uses a script. If I called you about a listing, or if I called you as a buyer, you would go right into a certain dialogue and language that you use. And I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying, have you honed it? Is there a better thing you can say to create what we call reciprocity, where we
Mm.
reciprocate now, and it's not the other person in control, where they're grateful that you're sharing with them and you're receiving, and they get off the phone, and for whatever reason they go, I like that person. I don't know why, but I like that person. That's what dialogue does. That's what
Ah.
language does.
That's amazing. So, guys, scripts and dialogues are crucial. I mean, it's 100%. No matter who I talk to, coaches, top realtors, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about knowing what to say. Then you'll know what to do on a listing presentation, on a
100%.
buyer presentation, on a price reduction presentation. And, guys, like, if you know what to say, you'll be just fine. So come and learn with us. Well, Dan, there are so many coaches out there. I mean, almost everybody's a coach these days. You have the Mike Ferries, the Godfather of real estate. Then you have his son, Tom Ferry, Bill Pipes, Steve Powers, all these people. What makes the Dan Plowman coaching different?
I'm grateful to everyone who takes the time to help others, because I'll tell you, it's quite a few years before you acquire traction in that kind of a business where you start to see profitability. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
giving, and you better love doing it, or you're not going to last. And I do, and I know that those other big names you just mentioned do as well, because I've talked to most of them. And I'll tell you this: the big difference for me, the unique selling prop that we have, would be that we are actively running a current team in today's challenges, today's changes. Things change as fast as 2 years now used to take 10. Things change quickly in
Mm.
business now with technology the way it is, and without the right connection to someone who's actually experiencing all of the challenges, I don't believe you will have a strong opportunity to be able to turn your business up and do deals within 30 to 60 days. And I mean efficiently. And an example of that would be quite simply when you talk of scripts. My reps, when they go into a house, they know what language to use specifically in an open house to actually get people to converse with them, to get people to say, yeah, actually, I do want to work with you. Yes, I do.
Mm.
People, when they come in, have scripts themselves. Oh, no, I'm just looking. I'm just looking. Okay, sure you
Right.
are. Sure, there's the odd nosy neighbor that does, but for most part, people will even use this language, which is not always true. Oh, I have an agent, because they know that'll keep you off of them, right? So
Right.
we know what to say to break that ice, so that they say, well, no, actually, yes, I am open to hearing you. What do you have? But we know what to say in that moment
Mm.
that is actually well received, that makes them want to work with you. That's critical, because the consumer today is smarter than they've ever been. And without being in this industry, you don't have those small, finite details down to an art, so that you can convert every opportunity.
That's so huge. I mean, I teach this all the time, and we run 4 role plays every single week to help agents, make sure that they know exactly what to say. So the difference is that the Dan Plowman team, the Dan Plowman brokerage, is also a coaching company. So you guys are in the trenches
Right.
and you coach, so you know exactly what agents are dealing with today in the market because you're in it.
100%. I'm very active with my team at the Monday meetings, the Friday meetings. We are connected very strongly. I have a strong leadership group. They converse, they role play, they skill develop themselves. So I'm able to take the things that work on our team that help contribute to why we sell a home each and every day, and share them with our clients. And I have opportunities for clients, whether you're entry level or whether you have a medium size or small team or a large team.
Mm,
We have different
amazing.
opportunities and packages for everyone with Dan Plowman coaching.
I love it. All spectrums of real estate sales. Hey, Zoe,
I told you
hang
I
on.
become.
Hang on. My apologies.
Voice of an angel.
My girl. So you have all packages for all different teams and all walks of real estate. Now, I come across a lot of agents, Dan, and I want to know, how do you motivate somebody, or can you motivate an agent?
Yeah, I think that motivation is something that is more well received with one who has or is living in the right mindset than someone who's not. I mean, you talk about inspiring and motivating. That's very personal in that I can inspire and motivate someone that doesn't seem to move, but they may have been touched internally. But when you're talking about motivating and inspiring someone in a business specific to our industry, you're talking about having someone have that spark again, that get up and go again. I think that's what you're kind of saying. So to
Yeah.
inspire and that, I think that comes down to mindset, and I think it's so critical today with the amount of garbage that we see on the news, and a lot of it's real.
Ooh.
I'm not discounting bad news, but I mean
Yeah.
a lot of it's just life. So don't get caught up and bogged down by the stuff that mentally can bring you in and drag you down to, oh, that's why I'm not doing any deals, and that's why I'm justified now in not having clients. There's no reason to go to the office. This is a really bad snowball, by the way. The inspiration and motivation that everybody had the day they got their real estate license, because you never had a client. Most people never had a client the day they got their license. The motivation and inspiration you had to slip into those shoes and get dressed up and go to the office with fire in your belly, that's what I'm talking about. Why is
Mm.
that not with us every day? Because if you can do that, I promise you will succeed in any market. And I do believe a lot of realtors struggle with that because they lose sight of what works, what will allow me to have a productive day, a productive week, and a productive month, knowing that I put 15 people into my database who are genuinely looking forward to my follow-up, and 3 of them are now business, and I know 1 of them are going to buy a house this month. What can I do to ensure that every day when I go in, I'm going to be loading up my database with things of value? And I do believe we've lost sight of the specific things that work, because we've been in a market for the past few years that's just been like, low-hanging fruit, and everybody can walk by
Mm-hmm.
and eat it. You don't even have to put your hands up. You can just eat it like this. It's been so easy sometimes. And I do believe it's okay. Please know that it's okay. Whatever happens in the changing markets, if we don't change, adapt, adjust, and get that fire, that inspiration, that passion back in our bellies, like that first day when we had our license, I promise you, with the passion alone, it'll help. But the passion that I'm talking about, the motivation, the inspiration, combined with the right tools, you will stay motivated. Those things are critical.
So what you're trying to say is that obviously passion and motivation actually don't last forever. But if you have the tools to go with it, you'll stay motivated. If you
It's
don't
it's
have the tools, you get discouraged and the motivation level comes down.
It's a lot easier to avoid this when you're actually getting positive results. Listen, I can see
Mm.
everybody right now, guys. Let's rah, everybody off your seats. Let's go. We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
all get in the office tomorrow. We're gonna spend 10 hours in the office tomorrow. Yay! I could do that and probably talk to you every morning for 4 or 5 days and start with about 50 people on the call. By the 5th day, it might be down to 5. But
Right.
if I take the same group of people and I say, here's what we're doing today for the first hour, here's what we're doing for the next 2 hours, here's what we're doing for the next 3 hours, here's the language you're using, here's the dials you're making, here's the specific things that you're doing, here's the online leads you're generating and how and what you're going to do and produce from it, and the language you're going to use to convert them, and here's where they go into a CRM that's going to keep you organized. If we went through all of that and you had a laid out day of specifics, finite details that had results, at the end of 5 days, instead of 50 people going down to 5, it'd probably be 50 going down to
Mm.
about 30. And by the way, those other 20 that didn't make that shouldn't be in the business.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Because you're providing the tools every single day. You're providing them with a very specific plan every single day. If it was just motivation on that call, it'll wane down to like, 5, 10 people. But if it was motivation and tools to give them a very specific plan, then that it'll still come down, but it won't come down to 5 or 10. It'll come down to 30. And the 20 here, honestly, it shouldn't be there anyways. Wow.
Well, yeah, and I don't mean anything. I hope I'm not offending anyone when I say that, but
No, not at all. It is
I
what it
will tell you
is.
that these kind of markets will thin the herd, and it's okay. It's okay.
Mm. It's okay, guys. And my thing is like don't quit and reach out to Dan, reach out to myself. If you still have that fire in your belly, you still have that passion, you just lack some tools, resources, and the know-how, call us, right?
Yeah, I
But
agree.
what I'm
Thank you.
seeing right now, Dan, is you still got that fire in your belly. I mean, after 30 years, how do you keep up that energy? How do you have that longevity?
Well, I guess coffee's part of it.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
Listen, I think by nature, I can be a little. My family says overwhelming. I appreciate that you said passionate. So you're very kind. I mean, it's just my personality. I am passionate about this business. I am really passionate about making sure that large percentage of people make it to that top 0.1% of producers, because I believe if you're not in that 20% of people that just shouldn't be in this business anyway, and you know what I'm talking about. You know who you
Yeah.
are. Do not be one of the people that should be here that is not in 6 months. That is a problem, because
Mm.
the only thing that would cause that is not because of your unique ability. If you have the skills and the unique ability to be in this industry and in this business, and you know it with a passion, connect with the right tools with Dan Plowman Coaching so that we can get you on track, because that combined with your unique ability is the formula for you to succeed to do deals. Look, all I want people to do is at least a deal a month. Come on. At least a deal a month. Let's start there. And then let's get you to 2 a month. And then let's get you to 1 a week. But let's just start with a deal a month. And I mean consistently. I mean filling the funnel with phenomenal people who are excited to get your follow-ups and your callbacks. And I'm not talking about you having to prospect 6 or 8 hours a day. Absolutely not. I'm talking about half an hour to 45 minutes max. And we can show
Mm,
you specifically how to generate leads on top of that so you're constantly filling your database with people that want to talk to you. That's all. That's what I want for the business. So I think a lot of my passion you speak of comes because I really am truly passionate and excited about helping people
mm,
make it in this business. Because it bothers me when people that profile properly, that have great unique abilities for our industry, and they don't make it. That's bothering to me. That bothers me a lot.
mm. It bothers me a lot. So you and I are on the same page, but I do think that whoever's listening to this right now, you're not part of that, 20% that will leave the business. The reason why you're listening, there's a reason why you're listening to this right now, watching this right now is because you want it. You want to become better. So, again, reach out to Dan, make sure that you talk to him and see if it's the right fit. At the end of the day, there's so many people out there giving you resources. I'm just saying, have a look before you absolutely say, hey, you know what, this might not be for me. So, Dan, this is amazing. I want to know actually, last but not least, what's your why today?
The why that makes me cry? Is that what you want to know?
Yes, sir. Your story, your why that makes you cry.
What is my why that makes me cry? Well, I'll tell you, and I did tell you this a little bit just before this call actually went live. You and I chatted just for a minute. I have 6 children. I have
Mm,
3 from 2 different litters, and I say that because they hate it. I have older kids, and I have younger children who are now, 14, 16, and 18.
wow.
I have 3 older kids. And one of the things that I wanted for such a long time was a cottage. And we live about an hour south of my cottage. By the way, I'm at my cottage. This is Balsam Lake. This is where I am. We live about an hour south of here. So to get to our cottage is very quick. It's an hour from our house and about an
Mm,
hour and 20 minutes from the office. So we're very fortunate to have this wonderful cottage on Balsam Lake. And I wanted a place that would ground the family to allow my older ones to
mm.
come with their kids because I have grandkids and kids, and my
Wow.
kids here. And it's just a great place for everyone to be. The jet skis, the boats. There's 2 homes on the property. It's just a
Amazing.
fantastic place. That why burnt in me so strong for so long. Because my wife, 20 years ago, we got married on this lake. So I said to my wife, the day we got married, I said, baby, give me 10 years and I'll buy a cottage on this lake. And
Wow.
I almost ate crow. I almost ate my words because the price of cottages just kept rising, even though my income was going up during those 10 years. But it was 10 years to the day that we got a text while we were celebrating our 10th anniversary in New York City at dinner. And we had an offer back and forth on a cottage here on the lake. It was 10 years to the day. We're sitting at our anniversary dinner in New York that I got a text from the listing agent. Your offer's been accepted. So
Wow.
you can imagine the feeling. My wife and I had just given her a beautiful anniversary ring, very expensive. And when the offer
Wow.
was accepted, I kind of went into a bit of panic on that. And I wanted to say to her, "Can I have a ring back for because we need more money for the cottage?" But I didn't do that. But that was my strong why that makes me cry. Now my why is this: for the last 10 years since we've had the cottage, I have really passionately enjoyed working more closely with my coaching and training company, helping
Mm,
people achieve their whys. I use my cottage, my why, the fulfillment that comes as I'm up here, as much as I am up here, and I enjoy things, and my family comes here, and this is the grounding point for all of us. And I'm very fortunate. My kids all live within, an hour and a half to 2 hours of the cottage, so it's really awesome for us and for me. But I really believe, I genuinely believe, you can have whatever you want. And I think it's great that you said that. Get clear on the why that makes you cry. Get clear on that. And then make sure you attach the tools to your unique ability, and you can take off. You can have whatever you want in this world. We live and work in the best business in the world. I genuinely believe that, and I hope you do as well.
wow. Dan, I am truly inspired, guys. Anything is possible if you have the tools, if you have the passion, if you know the why that makes you cry, you will never quit. And if you never quit, you will never fail. Dan, any last insight for the audience today?
Listen, I would just say this with great depth and belief, knowing what I've been through. This is, again, the very best place that you can possibly be as far as career move goes. Real estate and helping people achieve home ownership is amazing. The key, though, is to talk to as many people as possible, using the right language, right? And then creating great strategies for follow up. You could build your business, which will complement your wonderful life. Do not let anybody or anything sell you short of having those things. We're here to help with Dan Plowman Coaching. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dan. If you can drop your link on the Facebook wall here, we'll make sure to put it there, and let's promote it. Let's have Dan, help a lot of agents out here. In Ontario, there's 100,000 agents. I think a lot of them will drop off. Please reach out to Dan, guys. Don't quit. Make it a great day, y'all. Thank you, Dan. We'll see you
Hey,
soon.
appreciate you. Bye now.
Thank you.